Alright, welcome again. Today, I am going to be making a custom color. I had asked a couple people on Discord what colors I should do, and a few people wanted me to do this shimmery, kind of magenta color, and this black color together to see what it got. I'm only going to do a little bit because the black can be a little bit intense when you mix it together from what I've um done in the past. This is just cut up glue sticks that I did for another project. I reuse my glue sticks. And we're going to get started here. First, we turn that on. And the first thing I try to melt down is the hot glue. Now, I eyeball this heavily, but I have done many a test with this. And a lot of people say that might be too much glue. I'll just do it like that much. For every if you get like a regular stick of hot glue, you can cut it to about an inch, and that is about as much as I would start. I probably do a little much more if I'm like going to make a larger batch. I try to push it as much as I can. With that 1 inch, I add about maybe this much paraffin wax into it, and like maybe one little square, like I would say like a half a centimeter by half a centimeter squared cube. So about that much compared to the wax in here. And if it's a little too thick, you can add a little bit more beeswax or paraffin wax, whichever you have more of. Beeswax will give it more. Beeswax will give it more shininess, from what I've noticed, and a little bit of flexibility. Whereas paraffin wax makes it so the wax seals have a little bit more of a snap texture. So if you want a little bit more a snap, like hard texture for it to snap, or if you want it to have a little bit more rigidness or flexibility, add more beeswax than paraffin wax. But if it's too thin, I would honestly add more hot glue if you add too much wax. So, like I said, it's a little touch and go. And the colored pencils, because they're also wax. I think they are paraffin wax as well, or something. You only need a little bit. So with this magenta, I am just going to chop off the head here. Whoop! There it goes. Gonna chop off the tip here. And with this one, I'm only going to do about that much. You don't, like I said, you don't need a lot. But you can add a lot, because it's, like I said, it's wax. So if it's too thin because of the colorant you're using, like I said, add more hot glue. Now, Um, once you pour, if you're doing seals, once you pour it onto, I use a silicone mat because it's easier. Some people will use like a little piece of stone, like a stone coaster, or a rock of like marble, granite, that type of stuff. And it usually will pop off the granite, but sometimes you have to get this special tool like a rock. It's like a string. You go under it and it pops off. Ooh, let's get focused here. But also the wax here also helps um with so it gets off the surface of like the rock and stuff. And now we wait for this glue to melt. All right, it is now at the consistency that is great for adding the wax. You can add the wax in whatever stage you want. You could like add any of the wax first and then add another thing. Um, Sometimes I like to wait until one of the waxes is completely melted and then add another one. But then sometimes I'll just like put all the wax in and then wait for all the wax to melt and then mix it up. Mixing this might take a few minutes. Alright, that paraffin wax is mostly mixed in. And don't forget to scrape the sides. And now we add the beeswax. Getting a really golden color here. I will say, if you are going to be making true, I wouldn't say true colors. If you don't, because when you use yellow beeswax, your wax is going to have kind of a yellow hue to it. So if you don't want that, if you don't want like a yellow color to it, I heavily suggest you buying white beeswax. I got this from Amazon, but I do believe you can also buy it at like Hobby Lobby or any craft stores that you can think of that sells like candles and stuff like that, like stuff for candles. Alrighty. Beeswax tends to be a little bit easier to mix. And now we do the colorant. I know some people will probably add the colorant before they add like any of like the bee wax and stuff, but I like doing it this way. You could see the black marker just kind of absorbed everything. I may have added a little too much black. Oh, well, there. The sparkly effect of the magenta is coming through. It made a really deep purple. That's actually a very pretty color. It looks black on your end. I may have to... Oh, that's not really good lighting. Hold on one sec. I'll probably see if I can turn on a light to make it so it looks a bit better, because on my end it looks like a really deep purple. Like, it is almost black, but it's not as, like, the void like it is on my phone. So I will be right back. Alright, so I turned on another light, and yeah, it still looks very dark on my phone, but honestly, it looks a really pretty dark purple. Like, you would use this for if you were doing like a galaxy type thing. What I may do, is this may make or break this, is I have some mica powder here. It's like this shimmery white mica powder. And what I will do is I will add a little bit. Like, very little. Little goes a long way, like with everything. Very little. I know some people will be like, oh, that's too much. It's like, it's already in. It's already made. Oh well, it's my money. It's my money and I need it now. Ooh. I will be taking photos of this and putting them on like Discord, or if I can, I'll probably be doing like community things and show you pictures of what they look like in person, or at least try to. But that is a very pretty color in person. I wish there was a way I could like make it look more like it. Maybe we will try this. Add a little bit more pink. Yay, I like that. A little bit more pink was more better. It adds more shimmer. Gosh, it looks so dark on screen. It just looks like a dark black metallic, but in real life it's like a plum metallic. It might also be the settings on my phone. And then, you know what? We'll make this into a stamp. And fill the things with the leftovers. We will make this into a stamp, because I like the color. Set this over here and get my little stampy boy here. There. And now we actually, let me bring you farther down. There we go. And now we do the pour. Oh, we'll have a little bit more. A little bit more. And now, as I pour it into the thing, we will set the stamp right there. Alright, now that those are filled, I'm going to put the spoon back because these are not completely filled. And I thought you would want to see them completely filled. I do believe this is done. Yep. Came right off. No things. And it's a lot more purple in person. But it looks black, but look at that. Look at that. We made a stamp! Now, you could add, like, whatever to the top. You could, like, dust this with something and then put it on, or take, like, a paint marker and go over the lines, which I'll probably do. And just make all the lines kind of show up a little bit more, but that is actually really pretty. I'll probably be making this and making, like, you know, galaxy stamps, because you can melt multiple colors together and get, like, a cool effect. Sometimes you won't because of colors and stuff. But let me get this poured out for you. Right there. And that one's already filled. Set your table for cozy. I'm gonna see if I can find a way to make it so I don't get commercials anymore, because I know you guys probably like to hear the music, so it's not just me doing things. I like to scrape every bit out of the spoon, so it's not an effective pour. There we go. And we'll put this back. Okay. Oh, hot. And there's probably going to be some questions out there of, have I burned myself yet? Yes, I have. Not too badly, honestly, but I have gotten a couple blisters. But we will be back when these two are done and cooled, and I'll pop them out for you. Alright, this may be a little bit early, maybe not, who knows, but we're gonna pop these suckers out. Oh, there they go, and it went out of focus. Yeah, they look a lot more purple in person, but they are a bit darker. They're not like this jet black color in person. They're a purple color, but that might also be a thing on my camera. See, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that square boy. But I hope you enjoyed this, like, little video. I've been trying to think of ways of, like, making a video. I want to try to keep these relatively short, but you never know. Time just kind of flied for me. It's been like 20 minutes almost. But hopefully 20 minutes isn't too long. Maybe I'll try to shorten it next time. But you guys have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.